Luke Hughes is officially paid more than Jack, which means, by logic, he is better. Unbelievable stuff. Luke Hughes signs with the New Jersey Devils, 7 years, $9 million per year. Locked up. The Devils are over the cap. Let's break it down right now. How do you feel, CP?
I'm thrilled that it's done because in our preview, we were like, what are we doing here, dude? Like, we saw it happen. We see it happen with guys. You got to get them in. You got to get them playing. So I'm thrilled it's done. It is hilarious to me, though, that we were like, man, they can't afford this. They can't afford whatever extension I'm sure he's asking for. So I wonder how they're going to figure that out. And they're like this, we didn't. And I was like, okay. And I know they are going to and literally have to, but it is just so funny that they're like, still don't know. Still working on that.
I mean, I love it, dude. The drama's fantastic. It's like this team is currently just under $4 million over the cap, like it's 3.98 or something. And they'll get it done, but like something's got to be done here now, right? It's always funny to me. It's like that's not an insignificant amount of money, is my point.
Yeah.
It's like,
and look at the breakdown, Dan. Anyone you have eyes on?
Yeah, right. Like, I don't want to sound like an ignorant buffoon here, but like a trade needs to be made. I don't think that this is a situation where they can send down a certain amount of guys. I think Stefan Nason is maybe a guy that they could put on IR for at least a bit. He's hurt right now. I think he's on. I don't know, but maybe that helps.
That's someone to ask you too. Yeah, can you just like whack someone on IR for a bit?
Yeah, like Kovacevic is on IR. I believe he's making $4 million. So maybe the two of them does it and gets them relief for at least a little bit, so they're okay. But those are guys who are important to this roster that'll be coming back, you would assume, soon. So they've got some decisions to make. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. So let's get into the number, dude. I went back and I was listening to our Merrick mid-form when he came on. We were breaking down the RFAs. Yeah. And I was scrubbing it. I couldn't find it. I swear he had said, and maybe you remember, I swear he had said Luke was going to take shorter term. Like he was looking for a bridge. Is that right, or am I misremembering that?
No, I think that's correct. And also it made sense, right? He's 22 years old. I think a lot of the reactions we saw online were people being like, so our bridge deal's dead because like we're not seeing anyone taking them. And yeah, to me, it's like at 22, you would have thought a 4-year makes perfect sense, gets him to 26, then he signs a fat one. But ultimately, if he stays healthy, at 29, we just saw Kirill Kaprizov at 28 sign the biggest deal in NHL history. You borderline wonder if that helped this. Can't imagine. It happened a day later. This has been in the works for a bit here. But, I mean, man, he's probably got another big contract in his life.
Oh, for
this
sure,
is
dude.
great.
He'll sign another 7. He'll sign another 7-year deal at 29.
This is great. He's getting more money than... Again, I've been the one preaching cap percentage, so it's not a big deal. But these have all been signed relatively recently. But this is more money than Sanderson. It's more money than Faber. It's that 8.5 we saw was kind of being the standard. Now he's getting 9. It's a big deal.
Okay, let's talk about that really quickly because that was the thing I saw in the Merrick mid-form that we were like, he's asking for 8.5 and the Devils can't afford it, right? So if you go through this, Dan love how not only is he this coming year paid more than Jack, but he's the highest paid Hughes brother in total.
Yep.
And I'm like, what a fucking sick Thanksgiving this gets to be, like, dude, bitch,
seriously,
bitch. But Dan. Sergachev 8.5, Miro 8.45, call it 8.5 right now. Mo Sider 8.55, Faber, like you said, Pietrangelo 8.8, but then you go Kale 9, Luke 9. I'm going to try to say, well, I guess they're all pretty relevant, but I'm going to try to say the relevant ones. Kale 9, Luke 9, Dougie 9, Chychrun 9, Yossi just over 9, McAvoy 9.5, Seth Jones 9.5, Adam Fox 9.5, Noah Dobson 9.5, Werenski 9.58, and then you get into the Dahlins and the Drews and the Carlsons and the Bouchards. I think I kind of forgot how many were 9.5. Like I thought everybody was 8.5 and Luke was taking 9 here, but so many of these guys and his comps, I would say, are 9.5 that I actually think that Luke took a discount. Like I actually think he could have been like, give me fucking 9.5, dude. So I actually, after reading this, I was like, I'm actually on. This is a team friendly deal. Luke did them a favor.
Yeah, listen, I like this deal. I have absolutely no problem with this deal. And yeah, 9.5 is like I'll say it again, 8.5, 9.5 is kind of the standard we're seeing for this type of defenseman. I think we're seeing a lot of Rangers fans. I love the competitive juices. Rangers, Devils, tons of Rangers fans love to take this opportunity to be like, what a fucking overpay, idiots, blah, blah, blah. What does Foxy make? I think it's
9.5. Like,
it is 9.5.
Yeah.
People were like, he's making just under Adam Fox. What a joke. And that's just, just pure hate.
That's
hate,
ignorant, dude.
Yeah, I don't think that this is a discount. I am surprised by the term. We talked about it with Merrick, as you said. I'm surprised by the term. Luke has played realistically 2 seasons in the NHL at 20 years old and 21 years old. It felt so obvious to me to sign a 4-year deal here. And I'm not saying he made a mistake. Dude, get your paper. 7 years by not like that is you're flying, pal. And if he stays healthy, he's gonna sign another contract. The term's the only thing that surprised me here. I think 9 is a really good number. He, in 82 games in his first year, 47 points with 9 goals. Last year in 71 games, 44 points with 7 goals. So you could argue a bit of a regression last season. Keep in mind the Devils were worse than they were the year before last season. A lot of injuries, including a significant one to Jack. That definitely didn't help. We saw his plus-minus improve greatly. I thought the biggest issue with Luke's game in year 1 was I thought he was given way too long of a leash. For a 20-year-old in the NHL in their rookie season, I thought his leash was preposterously long. He was given every opportunity to make mistakes with zero repercussions. It felt like someone like Nemec was not given. And I think he made a lot of really bad defensive mistakes. Mm-hmm. We talked about it in that game, New Jersey, LA, early in the season, 2 years ago. He had just an awfully brutal turnover at the end of the game, which cost the game. Again, it was a regular season game, didn't matter, but it was just like, you just didn't see the next game, his ice time limited or anything like that. You don't know what happens in practice, but I thought his defensive game and his decision-making needed to improve, and I thought it did improve last year. Now, I think there's the argument, there are people saying overpay. I think that's wrong. I think no matter what, a big contract like this, someone's going to say overpay. I don't think this is an overpay. I think that this deal, if Luke continues to improve and progress the way he has been, in 3 years, this deal looks fantastic. In 3 years, you're telling me you're going to have a 24-year-old number 1 defenseman making $9 million for the next 4 years. That's a fantastic deal. So I think it's great work. I'm interested to see what the Devils do to make this work as far as the cap is concerned. My biggest question is his injuries, because he is pretty banged up for a 21-year-old. His shoulder has given him issues. We saw him get injured last year. Again, only 71 games. I'm not even coming close to saying he's injury prone, but that is a thing with this kid that I'm like, I hope he keeps an eye on that, because you're valuable now, buddy. You always were, but you now have the monetary investment to go with it. You are the highest paid Hughes brother, which will change immediately, but this guy needs to, you're a cornerstone, right? Like you really now look at this team, who are the most valuable pieces on the New Jersey Devils on the offensive side and the defensive side. Both of their names end in Hughes.
Yep. Okay, I got to go back because you said a lot there. To go back to the Fox thing, Adam Fox, as a 21-year-old, 8 goals, 34 assists, 42 points. Luke Hughes is a 20-year-old, 9 goals, 38 assists, 47 points. And then his second year, Luke went for 44, Fox went for 47, Fox in 15 less games. But I would just remind Rangers fans that, and anyone criticizing this deal, that Luke Hughes is a baby boy and he's putting up really good numbers. And Fox took a leap. Fox took a year 3 leap, absolutely. But I expect Luke to do the same. So before anyone starts clapping about how this is an outrageous payment, it's not at all. In terms of term, I wonder... That's part of the reason why I think it's a good deal. This is the last year you could do an 8-year deal, right? So I'm wondering if when he said 9, and only 9 if the Devils weren't like, okay, we'll give you 8 by 9. Like, I wonder if it even went down to 7 just so he could still be in his 20s for that second big deal, Dan. Not that I doubt it would make that much of a difference if he was 20 or 30, 29 or 30, but like, I think this number is so fine that the Devils probably were pushing this as far as possible. And to your point, I'm surprised Luke wasn't like, yo, I want less, because he could get a few more. Because I guess if he took a 4 right now, 26, then he takes a 7, he's 33. That might be a little bit tougher to take a fat one at 33. We've seen it, but I don't know if they give him like a monster 7-year burger at age 33. But again, dude, the be nice thing. I want everyone to get their bag, but when you're building something, I think it matters. And I think this is a great win for both parties, because it's probably the term that the Devils wanted. I bet they wanted even one more year, but it's enough time that they wanted, and at a number that he's good with, because it's a lot of money, so he's fucking fine.
Yeah, I think it's you just said it. I agree. I'm surprised. I don't think it's a bad decision. I'm surprised that he didn't take a shorter term. I think the 7 is so interestingly unique. Yeah. I genuinely think it's probably to keep him. It might be simple. I know that there's a lot to do with the new collective bargaining agreement. I'm sure that there's huge elements at play that his agent has figured out that I couldn't even possibly begin to scratch the surface of and understand. But I wouldn't be surprised if something as simple as being 29 when you're negotiating another deal just looks better than being 30.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, right?
Yeah. Like, you're right. I think it could be something as simple as that. It's very interesting.
On the injuries, dude, I wonder. I think it's tough, man. Everybody, like, I know he just banged his shoulder up, but like, you look at his games, like you had listed earlier, 82 as a 20-year-old, 71 last year before missing time and then missing the playoffs after, getting hurt in that Carolina series, right? Yeah. But what I was thinking is, these kids grow into their bodies a little bit more. And I know Jack is still dealing with this, so I'm not saying it's automatic, but they're so young that, and I hope you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work, but I hope he's doing that, putting in the time to build up that fucking Tom Brady pliability, to put some strength, to put some muscles on that bone frame that he's got, because he's the biggest Hughes brother, by the way. So I'm like, can't we just let him develop a little bit and then see if it's like he's a little bit tougher on pucks and a little bit harder to get hurt? So, yeah, best availability is availability, but man, there are plenty of other guys. I'll put it this way. There are plenty of other guys I'd like to smack an early injury concern on before I smack it on Luke Hughes.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it's something to keep in mind, but it certainly doesn't affect giving him this deal. We're just listen. He signed a deal. We got to break down every element. I love the deal. I think it's fantastic for New Jersey. I think it's fantastic for Luke. I think he's earned it. I think it's good work by Fitz. So massive kudos. Like we said, I want to see what happens next. And you're so right, man. Injury stuff's so interesting. You see it with a lot of guys in the league, people who are maybe a little injury prone in the beginning of their career, and then these are the guys who are in their mid to late 30s now, and you look at the last 5 to 8 years of their career, and you're like, oh, you're never injured at all anymore. There's some old man strength. It's real.
Yeah.
And there's also something about the way that your body, as it gets older, just deals with injury a little bit better. And we know when you're still growing, it's harder to recover from injury because your body is not only recovering, it's still growing and improving. So I think Luke's going to be fine. To me, man, I've got such eyes on what the Devils do here, and I've said it before. I will say it again. I said it last deadline. I said it this summer. I think you have to try to move Dougie Hamilton. He is your starting right shot defenseman, absolutely. But when you look at the depth chart of this team, your third highest paid defenseman, who you just picked up, is Brett Pesce, who's only 30. He's a right shot guy. Who are the guys that you have waiting in the wings? Simone Nemec, Seamus Casey, both right shot guys. You just gave Luke the exact same cap hit as Dougie Hamilton. Does it not make sense to try to move him? And you just go, boom, Luke's the guy now. Sure, he's 22. Doesn't matter. He's the guy now. You bring up some of these young guys. We mentioned Kovacevic, who has an injury. He's only 28. He's at $4 million a year until 2030. He's a right shot defenseman. You are loaded with right shot defensemen. To me, it's just, it makes a ton of sense that you could move Dougie Hamilton here. There's a lot of teams that would love him, who could use him. Well, how many times do we need to mention the teams that need defense. We talk about Detroit. It feels like a very interesting opportunity to kind of go, Dougie was the guy you brought in years ago. He was necessary, a huge piece in the rebuild of this New Jersey team, a good, responsible veteran defenseman who was taking care of guys like Heischer and Jack Hughes. And now it's like, all right, you know, we gotta keep moving here. You just signed Luke. You're gonna have to sign or figure out what you're doing with Nemec next year. Maybe we move now.
And Casey the year after that. And Dan, I would argue, and I'm a little ahead of my skis here, but if Nemec and Casey, let's say let's say Dougie gets hurt and these guys get significant time over the next couple of years, especially Casey because he's got some wiggle room. If they become like 60 point defensemen and they go, and I'm 22, 23, and they go, Luke gets 9, they're going to go, yeah, like that's what I want. Like, I'm the same thing. I am like a 22-year-old D prospect who has 60 fucking points. So you kind of like, you made your bed here a little bit because you can't go, well, he's Luke Hughes. Like, he gets money because he's Luke Hughes and you don't because you're Seamus Casey. I'm like, get fucked, dude. So yeah, I think they probably will move on from Dougie. And I love that call from you. It makes a ton of sense. And I think Dougie's a great pickup for somebody. This isn't like a put him out to pasture thing. You know, I think that's a huge ad for someone who can afford him and might have a hole there on the right shot D.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you wonder, I hate to even bring it up, but you wonder if you try to figure out a move. We'll see if Dougie would waive his no move, but do you try to make a move with Vancouver and get this over with now? It's like you got Luke and Jack signed long term in Jersey. Obviously, these guys would love to play together. I'm not saying anyone's pushing for it, but you wonder if that's a deal you explore. And the last thing I want to talk about in that regard is Quinn can ask for $20 million now.
Yeah,
I mean,
just gonna say that.
I mean, dude, we spent a lot of the Kirill Kaprizov news talking about what Connor's going to ask for, as we should. You've got Quinn Hughes and you've got Cale Makar coming up here in the next couple of years, being able to, or not being able to. They're going to be negotiating. Dude, these guys. You think Cale Makar can't ask for $20 million, and if Cale Makar can ask for $20 million, you don't think Quinn Hughes can? So this is very
Kirill fucked us. Kirill fucked all of us, dude.
It is very interesting. When I remember when Quinn signed that deal, we all went, great job, great deal for Quinn. Then Jack signs for what, less than 0.2, like 0.15 mil more a year, and now we've got Luke at 9, and we were all like, man, look at the Hughes brothers, and all of a sudden, in the quiet of the night, Quinn Hughes is about to be up for extension in a year and a half, and he's literally going to be able to ask for $20 million.
Yeah. Thank you.
Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable.
But hey, congrats to the Devils, man. About time.
Congrats to the Devils. We absolutely had to see this happen. They make it happen on a great number. Huge for both parties. Can't wait to see what step is next for this team. But for now, they got their guy.